Right then, welcome back to the channel. It is the Euros, and I think it's time to do a prediction, right? Let's go through every single group, go through all of the knockout rounds, and show you where England will fail. Because that's what we're here for, right? Sort of, but we're also going to see which teams we think might do a little bit of something. A little bit of a preview going into this. Let's see what each team has got. Right then, before we get started, let's have a look at the groups. As you can see, we've got Germany, Scotland, Hungary and Switzerland, Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania, Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, England, Netherlands, France, Poland, Austria, UK, Slovakia, Belgium, Romania, Portugal, Czech Republic, Georgia and Turkey. And as you can see, we have got the winner, the runner-up and the third place qualifying for the next round, and then they're going to get ranked and then they go into the knockouts. Do you think England will win all three group stage games of Euro 2024? If so, you could win £65 in free bets, because our friends at Parimatch UK are offering new customers a massive 66-1 for England to win all three group games against Serbia, Denmark and Slovenia. And you heard it right, 66-1 for England to win their first three Euro 2024 matches. To claim the offer, all you got to do is create a Parimatch UK account, opt into the promotion, and then place an outright bet on the normal price on the Euro 2024 England exact group points to be 9. These enhanced odds apply to a maximum of £1 stake, and enhanced odds are paid in free bets. For example, your £1 bet wins, you'd get your stake and normal winnings back paid in cash, plus £65 in free bets. Remember, you must be 18 plus and a UK resident, and full terms and conditions apply. The link you will need is below. Thanks to Parimatch for sponsoring this video. Okay, so let's look at the first group then, and let's look at Germany. Germany's world ranking at the moment is 16. It's quite low, that, for German. They are the host nation. They didn't have to play in the qualifiers. They played a load of friendlies. They've won 5, but they lost 6, and they drew a couple. I think when you're talking about the strengths, they've been put in a decent group, and Germany probably expect to qualify as probable winners, maybe, let's be honest, winners. And compared to their form last year, there's a bit of optimism in Germany because there's some decent players that have started coming through. You know, they've got the return of the midfield maestro, Toni Kroos, for one last hurrah. There's a little bit of Hollywood. There's a story there. They've got Florian Wirtz doing an absolute madness. They've got Kai Havertz looking decent for them. Andrić's form means that Germany might have actually found a replacement for Sami Khedira to negate the sort of counter-attacking goals, which has been a bit of a major weakness for Germany. But in terms of weaknesses, the form of the Bayern players might be a little bit concerning. Usually Bayern carry the German team all the time. Maybe that spurs them on to perform a little bit better. Maybe their form's a little bit of a concern for them, but they have got quite a few decent players, and you're looking at the likes of Kimmich. They're not the strongest defensively. I think that's probably the weakness of this German team, even though Rudiger's playing, and I think he is world class. Switzerland had a little bit of heroics at the last Euros, made the quarters. They're going to want to try and do that again. Their current ranking is 19th. Defensively, they're solid, which is what you generally associate with the Swiss team, very organised. A few losses, hard to beat. That's the sort of main characteristic of them. Then you've got Scotland. Now, Scotland are a little bit of a weird one because they had just an outrageous run of form in the group. They are ranked at 39th, so they're not expected to do loads, but they've got this never say die attitude that's got them impressive wins over the likes of Spain and Norway in qualifying. Scott McTominay just looks like a different player altogether when playing for them. But they have got defensive injuries. The right back could be a bit of a concern for them. The strikers are not the most prolific. Basically, they look to McTominay for goals. Now, I know everyone's saying, Steve, United did the same. Yeah, we did a little bit, and I haven't really got a lot to say in defence of that. But they're all right in midfield. You've got the likes of McTominay, you've got McGinn. And, their recent form, well, actually, the recent form has been quite concerning. And Hungary could be a little bit of a surprise package in this group. Now, I think Germany win this. Hungary ranked 26th, in a little bit of way opposite to Switzerland. Hungary go for it, which could do well for them in attacking in tournament football because they're scoring 2 goals a game on average, and that might give them confidence to just have it. They could manage to, if you score goals in tournament football, you're going to shock at some point, and they have a decent record against Germany. They're going to fancy their chances. They're not going to sit here and try and grab something. So I think Hungary could be a surprise package. So I'm going to start my predictions. I'm going to say Group A. I think Germany are going to win. I think no one's going to argue with me on that. I think Hungary are going to come second. And even though everyone's thinking it's going to be Switzerland, I think Scotland scraped through in third. Right then, Group B. So, Group B, where are we going to start? Spain. So they are currently ranked 8th, and I think people are underestimating Spain. They are the Nations League champions, and they've slowly but surely started to replace the old guard and really started to bring in some of their unbelievable young players. They only lost once in qualification, 7 wins. Ball possession is, yes, that's basically all you're going to just align with Spain. That's always kind of been their X factor. But you add to that, they've got real good and direct wingers that they've never really had. In Rodri, they've got genuine world-class leadership in central midfield. That's also going to get a bit of a license to play a little bit higher up. You've got some excellent defenders in Laporte, in Torres, in Carvajal, and Grimaldo's going to cause havoc up the pitch. Morata could be a consideration for a finisher. They've got weaknesses. They probably don't have as many goals in them as you would expect against the bigger teams. And they're pretty shit at penalty shootouts. But I expect Spain to probably go quite far in this one. Now, they're up against a decent opponent in Italy. Italy are ranked 9th. And obviously, Italy are a bit more defensive. They've got that sort of style nailed down. Resilience is going to make them hard to beat for anybody. No doubts over the quality of the coach in Spalletti. And Italy couldn't have hoped for a better replacement for Mancini than what they got with Spalletti. They had a little bit of an indifferent form during the group, and I think from a weakness point of view, I don't think they've quite got the same level of quality, certainly that Spalletti had at Napoli, but also what Italian teams would be used to. I just think they've not quite got the squad to go deep into the tournament, but you would think that they're going to be in the mix to qualify. Then you've got Croatia. So Croatia, they seem to just get through, don't they, in tournaments. They're 10th in the world at the moment, and they've become, they've sort of replaced Germany at major tournaments by the depth that they're going to in these tournaments, and they've just become consistent in big matches. This is a horrendous group for everyone to kind of get out of, but across the last couple of World Cup campaigns, they finished runners-up and 3rd, and that's sandwiched in between what was a disappointing round of 16 exit in Euro 2020. The strength of Croatia lies in midfield, and also think they've got a master tactician in Dalic as their head coach. In terms of the weakness, I think they're going to struggle because their attack is average. Perisic's best days are well and truly behind him, and while Kramaric is a decent attacking option, no one's betting on him to win the Golden Boot. Next up, you've got Albania, and these have been written off by everyone because they are in the group of death. They've got a good defence, and they do part the bus a little bit, and they only conceded 4 goals in a group that contained Poland and the Czech Republic, so they've got togetherness and they've got solidarity. What they don't have is any sort of attacking talent in the team, so how they're going to adjust to getting through the group, if they get through the group, I reckon there'll probably be an open-top bus parade because everybody has written them off. And I'm not going to do anything different. Here's who's going through from this group. Spain are winning it. Italy are coming 2nd. Croatia are going to come 3rd. And Albania are going home. Don't at me. C, England. You can watch my video in depth that I did the other day if you want to see why England are going to fail. But somehow England are ranked 4th. England are basically a couple of penalties away from ending the trophy drought at the last Euros. Since that defeat, they've seemingly got even stronger, although I don't think they've actually got stronger. I think they've just had good results since then. Harry Kane has become a complete footballer. The City players have got used to winning. The likes of Saka and Foden and Bellingham have taken it up to another notch. England have got absolute, genuine world-class talent in a couple of different positions on the pitch. Rice has emerged as a real pillar of a team. You've got Ollie Watkins and Cole Palmer giving depth up front. And you've got players who've had brilliant seasons that can't even get close to being in the starting 11. They've got such attacking talent that they should be heading to Germany with the only thing in their mind about bringing the trophy home. They come into it as favourites. But what are the weaknesses, Steve? Well, it starts with Gareth and ends in Southgate. The defence is rubbish. And I mean rubbish in the fact that it's rubbish. Southgate is rubbish. The plan is rubbish. The style of play is rubbish. And here's the problem. When you get, like I said this on the video the other day, but you have Gareth Southgate, he doesn't have the bottle to win. To win, you have to push outside a comfort zone. You have to piss somebody off. You have to go against the grain a little bit. And Gareth Southgate is the most with the grain man in the history of humanity. He's not going to do that. He's not going to make any sort of tough decisions. He's going to just wishy-washy his way throughout the fucking tournament. He's going to make stupid selections. He's going to make absolutely dire substitutions, 25 minutes too late than when he should have done, and England are going to be going home early, but they will get through the group. Next up, Denmark. Can they repeat the run that they had to the semis in the last Euros? They only lost twice in qualifying. They scored 19, conceded 10. They're obviously not going to repeat what the 1992 European Championship winners have done because they got there and they did that. But they are becoming a side that people are looking at and going, there's something about these, you know. They've got some decent players. You've obviously got Rasmus Højlund leading the line. You've got Eriksson playing at a pace of football that will actually genuinely suit him and show the quality that we all know he's got. Weaknesses, well, a little bit of lack of club games for Eriksson's probably a weakness, but that might be a good thing because he might be rested coming into this. If he can get into top gear quickly, if he's been training hard for the last couple of weeks, he could be a real game changer for them. Wingbacks or fullbacks just are not the best defensively, and they definitely get caught out and counter-attacks by the opposition. Is that because Eriksson's in midfield? Because that's what we saw all this season, Steve. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't really know. However, I think they get through the group. Right, Serbia, England's first game. They're going to be looking to make a statement. It's their first return to the European Championship since 2000. Currently ranked 33rd. Only lost 2 in the qualification. The midfield and the strike force is where their strengths lie. They've got the likes of Mitrovic. They've got Vlahovic. They've got Milinkovic-Savic. They've got Itch all over the place. That's going to do an absolute madness for them. And then they'll have Vidic in the stands, which is probably worth a clean sheet in at least one game. They're a massive set-piece threat. They've got units all over the gaff, but I think they don't quite have the same level of defence. They certainly don't have a Vidic. You know, they've got Milinkovic from Fiorentina, but they haven't really got like a centre-half that's playing in the top 5 leagues doing it. So I think defensively they're not as good, but they do have some players that can score goals. They're getting through the group, which means Slovenia are going to be the whooping boys. It's only their second appearance at a Euros. Their ranking is 57. They only lost twice. They did okay, to be honest, in qualification, but the defence just isn't anywhere near good enough to cope with England and Denmark and Serbia. It's going to be the Jan Oblak show, and he's going to be the busiest man in Germany this summer. So, how's it going to shape up then? I think England win it because they're games that they're expected to win, so let's have England as the winner. I think Serbia take it over Denmark in second, you know. And then Denmark in third, which obviously means Slovenia as the whooping boys of the group. Group D then. So France, yeah, they're winning it. Next question. Right, England might be the bookies' favourites, that's fine, but France are probably the team to beat. And I've got a couple more teams that I think we really should be looking at as well. They've got incredible squad depth. They probably could field 3 teams at the Euros and probably expect all 3 teams to get beyond the quarterfinals. That's how good they are. Motivation will be high because of the heartbreak of the 2016 final loss and also how close they ran it at the World Cup where they were bloody good, you know, and they could have done stuff. They've got balance, they've got depth. That trio that they've got at Real Madrid, the likes of Rabiot as a backup, they're going to be the team to beat. And half of me thinks that, is it a weakness because they are the team to beat? There's no major weaknesses, basically, in this French squad. So I'm wondering, is expectation going to be their weakness? Now, they're missing Varane. I think they'll miss the experience of Varane in a big way. But they've still got the likes of Kanate, Upamecano, and, let's be honest, Saliba, who's probably the one that's going to be starting, as options, which completely embarrasses the options that England have got at centre-half, who think they're the favourites. This France squad probably misses Lucas Hernandez. So if anything, you could say it isn't quite as strong or as experienced in the back line as it could be. You've still got the likes of Pavard in there as well. It's actually embarrassing. But they're going through and they're probably going to win the group. Next in this group, you've got Holland, and I think people are sleeping on Holland. I think they've got just like real quality right away throughout the side. Not won it since that unbelievable final that we saw in 1988. Guess where that one was? It was Germany, thanks for asking. They're ranked 7th in the world. They've got Koeman in charge, which means it could be quite a solid, hard-working team. Or this happens all the time with a Dutch team. They could all fucking fall out tomorrow night and have an absolute shit show and be home on the first plane or train. Because let's be honest, they're right next door. Now, with Koeman, the Dutch side has played quite a long-ish ball approach. Now, anyone that's old enough to remember Koeman will know why. He was the king of the switch. He could hit a winger from inside his own 6-yard box and put it on a plate for them. And I think he just wants his sides to try and play a little bit like that. Now, against the stronger sides, that's what they'll do. They'll look to try and put the ball into their pacey forwards from defence. They will totally bypass midfield. Against the weaker sides, they will totally dominate the ball against them. I think their defence is in a lot better shape compared to their attack. I think Koeman will have them organised because I think he's very good at that. But they are still a major, major threat from set plays. Now, the weaknesses, I think the form of Memphis Depay will be a massive concern for him because they do really rely on him, although he does tend to really show up for Holland as well, so that might be okay for them. The left back or left wing back, Daley Blind, is no longer playing at the level. Maybe the international football pace kind of suits him, but I would expect the opposition to target that sort of side of the Dutch defence. Then you've got Austria, and I'm going to be honest, it might be the team that I'm supporting at the Euros. So they're going to try and reach the knockouts for the second consecutive Euros and go one better than the round of 16 that they did at Euro 2020. They only lost once in qualifying, and the strength is going to be in midfield for them. They've got the likes of Sabitzer, they've got Baumgartner, they've got Lima, and they've got the likes of Danso in defence. And they've got the greatest coach to ever walk the face of the earth, Ralf Rangnick, right? Stop laughing. Now, weakness-wise, I think they've had a couple of injuries. Alaba is a massive, massive blow, and without Alaba, maybe they're not going to do a damn thing, but they will have a go, and I've just got a sneaky suspicion these are the real dark horses of this Euros. So I think they're obviously going through. Now, you're saying, right, hang on, Holland are going through, France are obviously going through, and Austria are going through as well. Does that mean Poland aren't getting out of this group? Yep. That's what I'm saying. They're ranked 28th in the world. They haven't got the greatest sort of defensive record. They concede a lot of goals. You're looking at Lewandowski and then translating that to the rest of the team, and it's just not the case. The next best player is probably Szczesny. They've got nothing in midfield. They've got no creativity, and they're in a group that they're going to get completely outscored. So outside of Lewandowski putting the team on his back and trying to do it, which he's never really done, what are they going to do? They're coming bottom of the group. So here's how it's going to shake out. France first, Austria second, because I think the Netherlands are going to cock it up, and it's the arguments. They always argue. Netherlands coming third. Right, Group E. Will Belgium finally win some silverware? No, they won't. They are ranked third in the world. They don't concede many goals. They score loads of goals. No one's sitting here expecting Belgium to win. I don't even think Belgium are expecting Belgium to win because it's just something that they don't do. But their squad's littered with unbelievable players. You're looking at the back end of that golden generation. Like Eden Hazard has retired, but you've still got KDB. You've still got Lukaku. If them two are on song, that's going to cause a lot of problems for people. The weaknesses is what they should be worried about. They've got a lack of experienced heads in some of the bigger games. Now, there's been a fallout with the manager and Courtois, so you don't really want that before the Euros. The defence is weak because they're missing those players like Kompany and Alderweireld that they used to have, but they do have some genuine world-class players in there, or people that have been at a world-class level. So you would think they've got enough in them to get out of the group. Now, you've got Ukraine, ranked 22nd in the world, won 6, drawn 2, lost 2 in the qualifying. Organised team, solid defence. You've got Real Madrid's hero goalkeeper in Lunin in defence. You do have some experienced heads. You've got the likes of Zinchenko, Marshall in defence / midfield, wherever he's going to end up for them, because he does tend to play in a sort of different area for Ukraine. Mikolenko's going to be in defence as well. You've got Dobvik, who's leading scorer in La Liga, and Mudryk, who's probably going to be a little bit of a handful for whoever he comes up against as well. Weakness, I think the gap between their best players and their weakest players is big. And I think even though they've got some great players, I think the floor, let alone not the ceiling, but the floor of some of their players is where they're going to crumble. Romania. Now, long ago, Romania were a good team. They're no longer a good team. And they didn't lose in qualifying, actually, but I just don't see them breaking anybody down. They are very defensively solid. Their performance in the qualifiers was a bit of an eye-opener. They only did concede 5 goals in the 10 games. They finished above Switzerland, so they've definitely improved. But I think they're not going to score enough goals. In this group, they might get some goals, but they're not going to score. If they do get to the qualifying round, they're not going to score enough to go beyond that. Their best chance of scoring goals appears to be hitting people on the counter, which is a valid way of scoring goals, or set pieces. Slovakia, the only pot 5 team that actually qualified for the Euros. Can Slovakia punch above their weight and reach the knockouts? No, they can't. Now, they do have a bit of a reliable core of players that have done a pretty good job, I think it would be fair to say, being the team lowest ranked that's actually managed to come through. But they're not going to get through. So who's going through from this one then? I think Belgium top the group, Ukraine second, and Romania third. Sorry, that's so boring, isn't it? Sorry. Right, Group F, Portugal. Now, I think Portugal could really do this thing. They only conceded 2 goals. What was their record in qualifying? It was fucking flawless. Thanks for asking. The only team that didn't even draw a single match in qualifying, they scored 36 goals and conceded 2 in 10. They kept 9 clean sheets and have one of the most balanced, strongest sides coming into the tournament. They are third favourites, somehow, behind France and England, of all people, and they have just got quality in midfield and attack, and I think they've got real good experience in, obviously, the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Rafael Leao. Then you've got the likes of Jota, João Felix. Come on, man! What's the weakness? Not really got any. A lot of their talent is young. I don't know if that's a weakness or just a little bit of a lack of inexperience. Maybe some of the defenders aren't the best at actual defending. Turkey. Can they repeat their semi-final performance of the World Cup in 2002? Fucking no. Right? So they're ranked 40th. They're coming into this with midfield looks strong with the likes of Kanaloglu, Koku. They're going to be the heartbeat of the team. Morale's going to be high. They've got some good young players like Gula and that are coming into this. And they'll have a lot of support because a lot of Turks live in Germany. So they'll have a lot of fans at some of these games. Weakness-wise, they've had injuries to Kabak and Soyuncu, which are really going to destabilise them. Up front, they've not really had a focal point, and they seem like they've got a few too many injuries to really do anything. Czech Republic. So these were surprise quarterfinalists from the last Euros, ranked 36. They did only lose the once, but again, they're just not the free-flowing teams that the Czech Republic has put out previously. They're very, very defensively solid. They restricted their opponents to only 5.1 expected goals, which was the lowest in European qualifying. They've got a real good midfield anchor in Souček, but they don't really have anything. Yeah, they've got Patrick Schick up front, but they don't really have any creativity. They don't have any. They're a bit meh, if I'm being honest with you. They'll probably go through, though, because Georgia are garbage, and Georgia, they might be the worst team in the tournament. Ranked 75th, they had a negative record in qualifying and still qualified. They lost 4, won 3, conceded 18, and only scored 14. So no one's as surprised as Georgia that they're even at the tournament. So how are they going to do? Terribly. That's how they're going to do. So let's have a look. Who's going through then from the final group? Portugal are winning it. I'm going to say Czech second because they're just going to grind out something, and then Turkey third. So that gives us a round of 16 then, and in the round of 16, we have to select which teams we think are going to finish best place. Now, this is really hard because you would think, Netherlands, definitely, they're going to finish dead high up, but it's not always the case because you're going to have those groups where there's been like real tight groups. So I'm going to say go back to the thing. Let's have a look. I'm going to say Romania and Turkey. Let's say they finish, and then Netherlands, Denmark. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go Turkey, Romania, Denmark, Netherlands, Scotland, Croatia. Let's do it like that. All right. Picking it the way we picked it means that Scotland and Croatia missed out. That's the way it crumbles when you have so many of your third places qualifying. It's going to be tight, and who knows? So even though you might disagree, well, that's how it's crumbled. So deal with it. Right. Let's have a look how it's going to go then in the round of 16. So Germany against Serbia. Come on, man. Germany are winning that. Hungary against Italy. I'm going with Italy to win that one. Spain will get themselves through Turkey. England have got an absolute bye there against Romania. Portugal are beating Denmark. Obviously, I'm supporting Austria, so I'm going to say Austria to beat Ukraine. Don't know if I believe that. Netherlands will beat the Belgians in that little derby that you got there, and France will absolutely wipe the floor with the Czech Republic. So that sets us up with some pretty tasty quarterfinal games. Germany versus Spain, Portugal versus the eventual winners, Austria. You've got Netherlands against France, and then you've got England against Italy. That's a great-looking set of quarterfinals. All right, let's get into these. Let's see how this is going to go down then. So Spain against Germany. As much as I think Germany are real underdog in this, they're being properly discounted. I'm saying Spain are going through in this one. All right, okay. Portugal are going to fluff it somehow and get through the obvious true winners of the tournament in Austria. Netherlands against France. It's got to be France, right? Oh, man, I think England actually beat Italy. How have England blagged another fucking semi-final? How's that happened? Fuck off. Right, let's have a look at this. Spain-Portugal's a hell of a game, you know. Portugal. France. And the final. Portugal versus France. Now, I tell you what, Joey wins this, football wins this, because that is a top final. Portugal versus France. Portugal. Bruno Fernandes lifting the European Championship before not even losing a game next season for United. Heard it here first. All of that is going to happen. And if it's not that, then it was obvious that Austria were going to win it, and we were wrong all along. That's my predictions. Portugal to win it. England to do another semi-final thing, which everyone's going to think is amazing. How do England end up getting like fucking Romania and all of that lot in the groups? It's bonkers, innit? Genuinely. Mental. Anyway, that's my predictions for the Euros. Let me know yours in the comments below. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.